Let's Make a Deal by Coffee Loop. If there is anything you could ever want, what would it be? Most people would say money, beauty, intelligence, or something along those lines. If you were me, though, I would say immortality. Really, though, who wants to die? It's my greatest fear, being a person of no religious or spiritual belief. To me, there is no heaven, no hell, no limbo, no ghosts, just nothing. The best way I can describe my belief. Have you ever had a surgery? Do you remember anything from the time you went under to the time that you woke up? That's the afterlife in my eyes, where all is void, and nothing exists, not even yourself. I know. Scary, right? Anyways, I led a pretty non-superstitious life. I didn't believe in this supernatural hocus-pocus angel-demon bullshit. Until last night. It all started a few weeks ago. I was just about to shut down for the night. I had brushed my teeth, locked my doors, shut out the lights, and made my way into bed. I usually lie awake for a few hours due to insomnia, until my mind can finally slow down. But tonight was different. As soon as my skin hit the sheets, I was plagued by exhaustion and ready to fall into a not-so-distant dreamland. My mind was filling with void of all that existed around me as I slipped into my dreamlike state. But this wasn't normal. I could feel the blackness encapsulating me, almost as if my mind was stuck in the middle of space with no source of light for billions of light years. I couldn't breathe, nor feel my heartbeat. I had no thoughts or feelings, and then as I gasped for air, drenched in my own sweat and overwhelmed with euphoric feelings I've never experienced. Imagine having a severe heart attack but without the pain. I immediately bolted for my phone and called 911, scared that I had just suffered a mild heart attack. An ambulance had come and taken me to the hospital. After a few hours, the doctor walked in and said that my test results had come back normal, but he wanted to keep me overnight just in case. The next day, I was discharged and given instructions to visit an outpatient cardiologist. I scheduled the appointment for later that week and walked into the doctor's office, filled out the necessary paperwork, and proceeded to take a seat in the waiting area. There was a man sitting in the waiting area with me, and usually I don't pay too much attention to others, but he seemed to really stick out in my eyes. He was an older gentleman with soft pale skin, dressed in what seemed to be a very well-tailored black suit, a white dress shirt, a matte black tie, and a black zoot hat with a short rim. I gave him a casual nod, and he only glanced at me for a moment, then looked away, as if he truly didn't want to acknowledge me. I shrugged it off, and after a few minutes passed, a woman walked out, drenched in tears and grief. As she passed by, the gentleman had gotten up and began to follow her out. The nurse then called my name, and I proceeded to the back. After casually waiting, the doctor had stepped in and sat down. He seemed to be a sincere man, but was a little displeased with the words that he was about to say. 6 weeks. How could it be? I'm only 25. I ate healthy, I didn't smoke, I barely drink, and I worked out regularly in 6 weeks. At this point, hysteria began setting in, and I didn't know how to tell my friends and my loved ones. I was not emotionally prepared for this. I didn't want to die and be met with the void. Needless to say, I didn't take it very easy. A couple of weeks had passed and the heart spells got worse and worse. I started to pass out. I could barely get out of bed due to pure weakness holding me down. I was a mess. Which brings me to last night. Lying in bed, I had started to doze off and had gone into another spell. It felt like an eternity before I shot awake. I screamed, about to jump out of my skin. There was a figure standing at the foot of my bed. I quickly turned to my bedside lamp, and I was surprised. Is that... It is. The older gentleman from the doctor's office. What was he doing here? Paralyzed by shock and fear, I tried to ask him what he was doing in my room, but was met with a simple gesture of his finger placed before his lips. It was as if he was telling me to be quiet. He was carrying a very calm and warm demeanor, and at this point, I started to feel serene and light. Then he soothingly muttered, "Let's make a deal."